everyone. This is delicious. Don Juan, the Texas treat, and you are listening to the Countdown City WrestleCast.
What's up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC. Joining me this week is Tommy.
Yo.
And we got Mike.
What's up, guys? It's Big Mike. We are on the road here in 2023, the year that Claudio liked a tweet by me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
So if you're watching Claudio, thanks for that. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
This is a kind of a bittersweet episode. We came in wanting to talk a lot about Impact HardToKill, and quite frankly, I don't know how much we might talk about it. I'll be completely honest with you. We may talk about it more next week. Just with everything that has gone on, it feels hard to discuss what was a great show. Some surprising results. We might discuss the results a little bit, but Jay Briscoe passed away. We're going to get into all of that. And it's funny. The big news thing was going to be all the other stuff that's come out about Vince McMahon getting back in WWE. We might talk about that a little bit, but gosh, this might be one time when Vince is happy something is overshadowing his news day or news week. Or just, I don't know. It's one of those things that you just, life is really short. And
extremely.
Very tragic too. So if you are joining us, we do thank you for joining us live. We're going to pay tribute to Jay Briscoe. I think all of us have seen him wrestle live at one point or another. Tommy has several pictures with the man, and we're going to pay tribute to him because we're not owned by Warner Media. Okay?
We don't even get me started.
So,
that could be a tirade. That might be my one. No, it won't. It won't, because I need more than a minute to get that out. So
you can have my minute if you need it. So yeah.
Yeah, we don't have enough, and I don't have enough F-bombs for the start of the year that I need for that one. No.
Yeah. We'll just at the very least start with Impact HardToKill. Full disclosure, I haven't seen it all the way through, seen highlights here and there. Planning to watch it this week. It's been insane, but I will say this: the main event, the fact that it was Mickie James and Jordynne Grace, that threw us off, didn't it?
Yeah,
we all figured this was going to be it. Yeah.
So that threw off all of our guesses too. We were all wrong.
Yeah. So I'm very, very interested to see where they go with this. How much longer Mickie James is going to keep up with this, and I'm wondering if they're going to go through a storyline where it's she wrestles till she loses kind of thing, or lose the title, lose your career. I don't know. Some other stuff. Really, I think that was the only title change of the night too. Josh Alexander did retain against Bully Ray. So Mike, I know you're happy with that.
Of course.
It's hard to talk about this show, and it's no disservice to anybody in Impact Wrestling. I know how important that show is, but I will say this: we're going to get more in depth into that next week. I think I'm just going to make an audible call and just say we're going to talk a lot about that next week before we preview the Royal Rumble as well.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah. On the Vince McMahon side of things with the news, a lot of stuff has been coming out. Apparently, he doesn't need anyone's say so anymore. Man, it sucks that I'm right because I called this kind of shit when he retired. I said he's still the majority shareholder. He's gonna wait for this to blow over, and then he's gonna find his way back in. That's exactly what he's done. and it sucks thinking that. Now, Mike, you had followed this a little bit more than we did. What sort of new stuff do you have about it?
Yeah, and no, I mean there were two main things, and one of them kind of just came out earlier today. But the first one, like you said, was according to, I think it was from Delv. I think most of this was from Dave Meltzer, at least the one I saw. But according to like SEC filings, he does not need to get shareholder approval for any other transactions he does on behalf of the company anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know what all that legal entailing, how all that works legally, but like you said, he has for the whole time been the majority shareholder, and so now it's basically he gets to make the decision for that. I know we've kind of talked about this a little bit. It just, I don't know, like I didn't go into business. I know, like, even when we talk about like sports teams, like when you talk about the owners, a lot of time it's not that they own the entire team. They literally, like you said, they're the majority. They have like the 51% share, I think,
They
which is
have a
like
controlling interest, basically. Yeah. So
people
yeah.
have like with the Spurs, for instance, here locally, stuff like that. Very rarely. Like I think the Jaguars, Tony's dad, I think, fully owns the team, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that.
I
Um,
have to look it up, but yeah. So,
Yeah, I don't
but
know
I
if he
mean,
does or not,
it's different. It's different things like that. And apparently,
Yeah.
it's the business thing. As long as you own the majority, you pretty much have the rule. Um, and I don't know. It's strange. He stepped down. Oh, I think it's time for me to retire. I don't know why we're lying to ourselves now. Clearly, the reports. Oh, I got bad advice for all these alleged things I did. No one was going to care because apparently we don't care when rich people break the law. And then he just literally bullied himself back in and said, I'm going to make all these decisions. So especially with everything going on this week, I could care less about him at the moment. I don't want to waste too much more breath on him. Speaking of the things, the other thing was today it came out he settled a lawsuit with a former WWE referee who accused him of sexual assault.
Yeah.
And they settled out of court, and we'll never hear anything about that. I'm sure she'll have to sign an NDA. So,
but we're not asking the big question here. We're not asking the real question. Did he ever say anything mean on Twitter that he apologized for? Because my God, that unforgivable sin. If he had done that, then maybe that'd be the key to take him down. Sorry, I'm bitter.
Yeah, I guess that's a good segue, right?
I fully admit to being bitter about
I don't blame you. I mean, for what it's worth, he didn't say it on Twitter. But if you go to Peacock, there might be a large library of old Raw pay-per-views, all kinds of things where he did a lot of offensive things, which I'm sure is just a character, but
I mean, he said my nigga live on Raw once. He walked right past Booker T.
Yep. With the do-rag on.
Yeah.
Yeah. All that happened. And I know everyone thinks like that was a fever dream we all collectively had, right? No, there's video evidence. It happened.
And if he's going to get credit for being the final decision maker for everything that WWE has ever done, we can look back at a lot of offensive segments, whether he was involved directly in them or not. That means he approved them. That means he okayed them. So if you're gonna take all the glory, you're gonna have to take all the responsibility too.
So I can now confidently blame him for the Katie Vick thing. Don't get me wrong, I did already, but now I have more confidence in doing so.
I mean, look, I'm not that I'm the biggest Triple H or Glenn Jacobs fan, but do you really think either of them is like, what would be good? What would be great? Like, look,
I do want to believe that that's one of the few times Triple H said, "Sorry, that's too weird even for me." I do want to believe that he said that loud.
You want to hope, but let's also not let more recent Triple H blind us to old Triple. Not that I'm comparing him to Vince McMahon with the stuff we've just been talking about.
Fair enough.
He did some dumb and stuff too.
I mean, he did.
Sure.
Yeah, it's true.
Let's just move on to I think the hardest part. I think it's just worth
Yeah.
it to get there. Obviously, if you haven't heard by now, Jay Briscoe passed away a couple days ago, quite suddenly, due to a car accident.
Yep.
The current Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion, along with his brother Mark, and former two-time Ring of Honor World Champion.
Yeah. First time was beating Kevin Steen. The second was beating Michael.
Yeah, and I mean, if you want to know the details, essentially, I think the hardest part about that is that his two daughters were in the car with him. He was driving home after taking them to a cheerleader practice or event, I can't remember.
Mhm.
And
Something like that.
yeah, was driving, and a car came from heading in the other direction. They don't know what happened, if it was alcohol involved or what, but that other car swerved into oncoming traffic, head-on collision. Jay Briscoe was not wearing a seatbelt. He passed. The driver of the other vehicle also passed away. And his two daughters were admitted to the hospital, both of them needing surgeries, from what I understand, for some pretty critical injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From what
Mm.
what his wife was still in surgery yesterday. So I don't know what happened. I haven't heard anything today. Of course, when it comes out, it comes out. So not trying to say we want to know. Like, of course we want to know, but it's like whenever the family feels comfortable with telling, it's up to them. Charlie, their call. But last I heard, yes, they were still in surgery. Yeah. Because at first the report was his wife, because I think she was in the car too, from what I understand, and the report was she had died too, but that wasn't. It was the other driver who was female.
Yeah.
Because Jay's wife was the one posting about everything. And I don't know if you guys knew this detail, but all that happened the day before Mark's birthday.
Yeah, well, I saw stuff coming out yesterday about it was Mark's birthday, and then Jay's, I think, was supposed to be next week, right? Or
It's on the 25th,
Something like
so
his was coming
Wednesday.
up soon as
Yeah,
well,
his is
so.
coming up. It would have been his 39th birthday. Ricardo,
I had no
thanks for
idea he
joining
was
us.
4 years older than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See Ricardo on there. Thanks for joining us.
Hey,
At
Ricardo.
this point, if you're
What's up,
watching this
Ricardo?
live or you're watching this after the fact, feel free to share some memories you have of Jay Briscoe, whether you met him in person, maybe a favorite match that you had, and we'll try and get through those as well. This is just we don't know an update yet on what was going on with his daughters. We hope they're okay. But they're gonna need a lot of therapy, because they're gonna grow up thinking, oh my God, if I had never been in cheerleading, my dad would still be here. And to those kiddos, you can't think like that. And I think your dad would say he loved every moment he had with his kids. There's videos of him practicing cheerleader routines with his daughter, which is amazing. It's one of those things you just, as a dad of a daughter, you bond over this most random stuff you never think you would. So
I laugh because it's saying Mr. Reach for the Sky Boys doing this little teapot thing. I was like, and my immediate next thought was, at the same time, who gonna check him? Who gonna be like, look at you, all dancing with your daughter? Yeah, dude, I'm sure that conversation will go real well for you.
Not just the same Reach for the Sky. Thousands of promos where he was like, I will off a fool, for lack of better words. Like, I will take you out to and then, I mean, it's not just Reach for the Sky. It's like, I will put you through tables and tacks and god awful punishment, but also that, so
it's him on a farm with his brother and big tractors. How, man, we gonna do this thing, right, boy? And then next thing you know, I have a little team.
And this has nothing to do with our conversation other than, ladies and gentlemen, that's a man.
Yeah.
Like,
that is
someone
that is
who I think for the most part it's safe to say what we saw in the promos and his character with his brother is a lot of who they really were, but also as a dad, not the slightest like, oh, I can't do that. That's that's his daughter, jumped right in. Like, that's something to praise, to aspire to be as any man, any dad. I just love that.
Yeah.
This is just how the news broke. Tony Khan shared on his Twitter, and it spread from there. NXT called it out. They were, live on TV when it happened. The news broke, and they called out the commentary table, which was, again, something that probably would never have happened if McMahon was in charge.
Not a chance. But real quick, I don't know if you guys heard this. There was supposed to be a segment with the New Day about like some kind of funeral thing for like Pretty Deadly or something.
It was like the funeral of Pretty Deadly's title shot. Like they're not getting any more title shots. And I'm sure it's going to be a typical new, a similar thing has been done times before.
Yeah, I mean.
So they scrapped it. They scrapped it, I assume, because of what
they scrapped it at the last minute.
Them and Sean got together. And was like, yeah, no, we clearly can't do that.
Yeah. But so, I'm just saying. It's. I just wanted to say props to WWE for that. I mean, because like you said, New Day probably would have been fun. They did feel with jokes. But given the time, the props to WWE and and under the Triple H, not Vince so much, but like say, you know what, this is a bad idea. We're not doing it. Because I feel like a lot of those guys, even if they didn't know Jay, probably knew like Seth Rollins.
There's no. I'm sorry, not to interrupt you, but it's Triple H who ran NXT Black and Gold. Like all the people that ran through there. Like all those former ROH. They did. Like, 100%. Sorry.
Yeah, but I think it's really cool because like all these Jay Briscoes people have been telling, like I feel bad for guys like Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins. They were talking about like we hadn't seen years, but they say like but every time they do see him and Mark, it's like old times. They run up and hug each other like they they just saw each other and everything. And I was like, man, and what I think Alcat posted something that said it best. It's like we bleed with each other, and then we have a beer with each other. And it's hard to accept when one of the members of your family like that are just gone. Or something she said. I have it saved somewhere. But so I think she said it best with that. And I just really feel like because a friend of mine who works with some AEW talent sometimes. She was near them the day the news broke. I headed for where they were, Fresno, when they had the show last night. And she said the whole mood of everyone on the plane was just so dour. I mean, they were just so out of it. And this is me saying, of course they were. Like, how can you not be? But she said like that news, it just hurt everything. And they said, and like a lot of wrestlers have been saying, it's like this has got to be a work. It's got to be fake. There's no way he's gone. There's impossible. Shane Taylor, who of course I know, and like all the things he's been posted, just heartbreaking because he said at one point he said convinced me that he was done with his time on this world was done. I wanted to wake up from this nightmare, and it's like it's just like geez Louise, man.
It's God, when someone passes in the wrestling world, whether you knew them or not, it just hits you. As fans of wrestling, of this business, you just enjoy it. It's one of those things that it's a different kind of entertainment. It's a different kind of thing to be a fan of, and when you lose someone that you're such a big fan of in their career, it hits you hard because you invest so much time and energy into that, and it's unfortunate that we've just had our fair share of talking about on this show. But when it happens something like this, it's just you're never prepared for it, obviously. And it's not to say that Jay wasn't without his controversies. Yes, over 10 years ago, he made some controversial tweets. Later apologized for them. But for a company to use that as a reason why you can't have a tribute show on their TV stations from years ago without apology is complete bullshit. So
bullshit.
Yeah. Look, Warner Media, do better. It's you say that like the whole we bleed together, then we have a beer together. There's that picture that's gone around of FTR and the Briscoes all drinking a beer after their last match they had together.
That's a good picture. Yeah, that's a really good picture.
But to not allow AEW or anyone to pay tribute to Jay Briscoe is beyond me. The man's gone. I know he was without his controversies, but if you're going to have that sort of controversy, then y'all shouldn't be showing or talking at all about Hulk Hogan whatsoever, because he's had his fair share.
Yeah. As everyone pointed out, how they said you can't do that, but then they showed the promo for the freaking Dana White slap contest thing, and it's like, okay, so a dude tweeted something he apologized for as over 10 years ago, but this dude slapped his wife Friday, and we're cool. Okay, yeah, I mean, it doesn't make the math ain't mathin', but whatever, So
I think the sad thing is, because this is what it is. No one in charge at WD has had any idea who he was.
No.
Someone in the research that gives them information told them, a long time ago. Because wasn't part of their story up until that last ROH pay-per-view where they had the dog collar match that they couldn't even come on to AEW to TV to promote it because they're not allowed on television. I mean, that was part of that thing also. I mean, it's, I don't give any credits to people at the top of these companies and stuff who make decisions, because they hardly ever honestly know what's going on. People just tell them stuff and they make decisions that they think is best because they want to look good, and it's.
But credit to Tony Khan, they did record at least the first of, I'm sure, many tribute shows for Jay Briscoe after Dynamite Rampage last night. He mentioned that they're going to be airing it on an episode of ROH Honor Club, and there's going to be doing a whole bigger event that'll be released on YouTube as well.
Yeah, so, and all this is supposed to be free. Even if it's on Honor Club, you'll have access to it, YouTube.
Yeah, there's not going to be any sort of paywall around it.
Right.
Wonder if they'll put that on the Bleacher Report AEW feed as well as a possibility. Fight TV internationally, because they have some free options there too as well.
Right.
But
sorry.
As I understand, a lot of people flew in for that, just last minute stuff, which is pretty awesome. So
people are starting to share their clips.
Yeah.
And I like, if it's on TikTok, I scroll immediately because I don't want to see anything yet.
Yeah.
Like, I want to have that chance to, once it comes out as a thing, watch it. Like, I already know some small things that have happened or people that are there.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to avoid it as much, just because I want to experience that once they release it as a thing to watch,
Yeah, it's like me catching that 90s show clips on TikTok. I was like, no, I haven't seen it yet.
Thing.
So, thankfully, the ones that I've seen so far are mostly in the pilot.
I didn't realize it finally came out. So
and
I thought it was like coming out this weekend or something. So I was like, dang it!
I watched the first episode. It's hilarious. It's really good.
They're releasing them all at once, or are they doing it?
There's 10 episodes out right now, so I think it's all at once.
Okay.
But we watched the first episode. Now here's going to be the tough part. It's allowing us to a chance. We're going to do this. Like I said, if you're watching this live, what are your favorite Jay Briscoe memories, matches? Tommy, please try and keep it under 30 minutes. I know you got so many.
I just got to finally update my own channel and just talk about this, because
I mean, look, Tommy, if you wanna, if you're not working part of Saturday, Sunday, we want to come back on and just do like a live, like people jump in and just all for hours.
Maybe.
You know what? Honestly, I might let Steady. Just hey, take everyone to my YouTube channel. I'll go live and we'll just spend a whole hour and a half talking about Jay Briscoe because I can. So,
I guess I could go first. Now, I never did get to shake hands with Jay Briscoe. Did get to meet Mark though at a meet and greet before Ring of Honor show. What's up, Mike?
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. No, I have. We were there.
What?
Do you remember why? Like, it was the meet and greet before one of the ROH shows up at the Shriners, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember why it was only Mark and not Jay? Because
I don't know.
I have a picture with Mark also, and I was like, why don't I have Jay? But I can't remember.
Yeah.
He wasn't. I think Jay was the champion at the time. But I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But yeah, Mark was just there. I think it was Kevin Steen,
ACH,
Mark, ACH, Maria Kanellis. Yeah,
because you gave her the Bella sign or whatever.
Yeah, Roderick Strong was the other one, I think, too.
Yeah.
So got pictures with all of them, and that was pretty cool. ACH. I think that was the night ACH wrestled against Jay Briscoe. He had a title shot that night, which was pretty awesome to see. I mean, we were all rooting for him. I think I was wearing an ACH t-shirt too. Yeah, that was really where I got to. The only time I got to see Jay Briscoe wrestle singles competition was against ACH, and put him to work. It was a two-face thing. It was two face versus face match. But Jay put ACH over. He's a local boy. We all is in San Antonio. We're all cheering for him and stuff and hoping. But Jay let ACH get his stuff in. Let him shine a bit, and it was pretty cool to see him selling for ACH and to see ACH on that stage getting that title shot.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was trying to figure out which show it was, and I just found it. The reason Jay wasn't because it wasn't that show he was champion. It was like the following one they were here. But the reason he wasn't is because his match was Adam first on that show. So he was getting. I remember that show. I was like, wait, why wasn't he up there yet? But that's why I just looked it up. Him and Adam Cole wrestled first. That's why.
Okay. Yeah. So, but just I'm just happily thankful I got to see him live. It's pretty amazing stuff. It is legendary. We all wanted to see the Briscoes versus Guerrillas of Destiny. We wanted to see them against the Usos, them against the New Day. We got to see them against FTR. Hell, I would have loved to see them against the Motor City Machine Guns if they didn't do it already.
A couple of those did happen just in older matches. I mean, hopefully that's one reason I think now. I as morbid as all this is, I bet this is going to make Tony streamline Honor Club now because he'll probably wasn't get those matches out there so everyone can see them. Because I think everything except the Usos has happened. I think they probably did get a 2-on-2 match with the Guerrillas of Destiny at some point. I just think it was like later that year after that whole big mess at G. So.
Yeah. I know Chris Marvel messaged out there that was a dream match for him and Don Juan, Treats versus Briscoes. How great would that have been, But Mike, do you have any personal memories of Jay Briscoe? Maybe something stands out, favorite matches?
I have to start here because this is what's funny. My introduction to the Briscoes, if you will. I was not familiar with all the ROH stuff around that time or whatever, but I kept hearing about the Briscoes. At first, I thought they were related to Gerald Briscoe or the Briscoe brothers, of the WWE and more of the Territories fame. So then I see them for the first time, and I'm like, nope, these are not Gerald Briscoe's sons, or they're not related to those Briscoes. So that's kind of my first introduction. But the whole time that I was aware of them, and once I did, and it was kind of always like they're the best tag team that you never got to see go big time, right?
Yeah.
Never went to WWE. Like you said, all that time, you're thinking about all the matches they could have had against some of these bigger teams. And I know there was a while where WWE tag team was horrible, where they were just throwing people together for a long time. But when you would get some decent teams in there, you were always thinking, in the back of your head, could you imagine if they could, go against the Briscoes? And like you said, I think I was at both of those shows that you mentioned here in town for ROH. And yeah, I mean, then you started seeing their stuff, and I'll admit too, early when I first got into them, hearing some of the stuff people said about both of them, you're like, okay. But then you keep following them, and especially with all the stuff that comes out now, you see how they changed. You see how much everyone loved them. You see how in the wrestling locker room they were accepting of everyone. Everyone loved them. Who there was one person I was of all the tweets, but anyways, basically they were saying it was early in their career. They're younger. They were nobodies. And Jay and Mark came up to them, nice, all this stuff, and they basically said they had no need or right to treat me as nicely as they did, being a young person.
That was Effie. Effie.
Well, no, Effie did too. I know that one, but there was another wrestler.
Oh,
I'll look
okay.
it up later but but that's the other thing. There's been hundreds of people with nothing but positivity, and I hate saying it because it's coming so cliche when we lose people, but that small silver lining of look at all this outpouring of like love and affection for them, like there was for Brody Lee, like there was for Shad Gaspard, um, but yeah, like and Jesus, like I did have a chance to go, not recently, but I'd seen like some of the stuff when he won the belt from Steen, and just some of those matches they had during those runs, and just incredible, honestly.
Some comments we got coming in, Jason. One of my favorite moments with the Briscoes is them versus Okada and Nakamura.
Well, there's a match I got to go find.
Yeah.
What's that from?
I think I have it somewhere. If I have, I'll let you know.
Of course you do.
Not to mention experiences Briscoes FTR won. So
And just that trilogy they've had over this past year and a half or whatever.
yeah, how lucky are we to have seen that?
Yeah.
How lucky are we to be able to get that? That was like a dream match for one. They gave us 3 of them.
I was at the first one.
Yeah. Before Tommy goes, let me just list before Tommy goes, I want to list some career accolades here for Jay Briscoe in case you guys weren't aware of this one. Numerous tag team titles everywhere they went, but some of the highlights one, of course, GCW, the 3-time tag team champs with Mark Briscoe. Impact, they were 1-time champ. IWGP tag team champion. And I love this one. 2-time never open weight 6-man tag team champion with Mark Briscoe and Toriano. Fucking love it.
I knew you'd love that one. They were never 6-man, right? I think they were the first.
I think they were the first ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. Before you go on, there is one that because Mark yells what's afterwards. They cut a promo, and Toriano says, and he says in Japanese, "I have no idea what the hell they just said." So,
the Ring of Honor, 2-time world champion, 1-time 6-man tag team champion with Mark Briscoe and Bully Ray. 13-time world tag team champion, including the current title holder along with Mark. Numerous year-end awards under Ring of Honor, and the first tag team inducted into the Ring of Honor, part of the initial class of the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame. Yeah. And then on PWI, he got as high as number 7 on the top 500 list, and that was in 2015. So there's numerous accolades out there for his career, and it's hard to believe it's cut so short. But again, keep sharing the memories, keep sharing what your favorite moments are. And Tommy, that's your cue, man. You've got a lot of experiences, a lot to say, a lot of favorites. I believe you were there for Briscoe's FTR 1, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, that was a Super Card of Honor just last year. That's the one show I was. Even if I had missed most of the show, I was like, I'm seeing that tag match. I got to see that match at least. The whole show was amazing. That match, it couldn't have disappointed if it tried. They would have had to lie to make that match bad because it's Briscoes and FTR, and they don't have anything less than such as when they're half asleep. So but actually, the funny part is the first time I ever saw Jay live, because this was when Mark was legitimately injured, was back in 2009, WrestleMania 25 weekend, when ROH was here, because he was in a few tag team matches. I think they were still feuding with Sweet and Sour Inc. at the time. So that was the first time I ever saw Jay live, which was huge. Didn't meet him until they came to San Antonio when he was world champion. That was exciting. The pictures I have with him and Mark were 2 of my biggest fan moments of all time. And here's the thing I've been telling everybody who I talked about this. Like how you see him with his daughter, the promo and fight Jay Briscoe and everything. Yeah, maybe that's who he is when he's unleashed. But interacting with fans, interacting with people, Jay Briscoe, the guy I met, is the kind of guy you could legit just sit down and talk to. It seemed like he was super nice. I was like, oh yeah, man, and I was like, oh yeah, man, God bless you. Hope you're doing well and everything. here this way. At my old room, in my parents' house, I still have a lot of my wrestling pictures up on the wall. My Briscoe's picture is still. It's one of the ones like I'll take it down when I have somewhere else to put it. I'm never that's not portfolio. It's staying on a wall somewhere in a frame. That one's special to me. If we're gonna talk, if we're gonna talk matches, God, did they ever have bad matches? Was it possible? I will say the singles matches that's out. The first and foremost is him and Samoa Joe inside a steel cage is probably one of my favorites of all time. That really told me even back then if Jay Briscoe ever wanted a singles run, I think he could do it. But probably one of my favorite all time Ring of Honor was him beating Kevin Steen. Was it Bell or was it Supercard? I can't remember which event it was. But when he beat Kevin Steen, that moment was just like awesome because that was during the whole ROH versus Scum feud. And then, we had Kevin Steen kind of turning on Scum because he fight Jay Briscoe straight up. He didn't really want anyone else's help. He wanted to just fight him. And when he got that 1, 2, 3, and you could tell how much the crowd wanted it because that was one of the loudest crowd pops I'd ever heard. And, he did in Hammerstein Ballroom, and you know how notorious that crowd is. So,
Supercard of Honor 7.
Oh, okay, it was Supercard of Honor. Okay, cool.
April 2013. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was during the phase. There was during the phase, and they still didn't have an internet deal. So I was reading all the events second hand, and was just waiting for the DVDs to come to show up on shoprohwrestling.com. Dude, I used to get. Yeah, dude, I was signed up on the email mailing list for that website, so I could know when stuff was shipping, so I could know when to buy it. Like when they just started doing pre-orders, yes, pre-orders. That way, as soon as it drops, I can get it. Thank you. So that was that, man. That was like the one to my email religiously because I was like, when is this dropping? I remember they used to drop stuff on Tuesday. I would check my email every Tuesday looking for that DVD. The second it was on sale, I bought it. So yeah, but no, man, and it's just one of the guys who I explained it to my boss. It's one of the guys who I followed Ring of Honor because of Amazing Red and AJ Styles. That's why I started watching Ring of Honor. Guys like Samoa Joe, CM Punk, Homicide, the Briscoes kept me there because I still love AJ and Amazing Red. They're two of the best. Then I saw these other guys like, who are these guys? These guys are amazing, and that's what kept me watching ROH. And so for nearly 20 years of my life, I was following ROH because of guys like Jay Briscoe, and a lot of the reason most of the time was because of Jay Briscoe, him and Mark. I wanted to know what the Briscoes were doing, and like they won the Tag House 13 times, and in my head, I'm still like that just still was not enough for me,
Yeah.
That's not a tag team range for the Briscoes. You kidding? 50 times, damn it. So, but it's heartbreaking to know that an icon like that of like a good chunk of my life, more than half, is gone. I probably will start watching him probably around 17, 18, and now it's like someone mentioned they're probably going to do a Briscoes tag team binge. I said when I'm mentally and emotionally prepared for it, I'll do the same. It ain't going to be today. Tomorrow's not looking better, and I pretty much guarantee it won't be over this weekend. But at some point, I'll do a Briscoes tag team watch. Yeah. But yeah, it's just crazy.
It is. It's been shock, really. If for all that he's done, still young, was only 38, about to turn 39, and it's you figured where else was he gonna go? Where else was he gonna do in his career? And you're going to see what the next big step was for them too. And they were a Ring of Honor staple. They stuck it out, and I was excited to see them kind of be basically help leading the charge of what the future of Ring of Honor was. And now you obviously, for family's sake, Mark worried a lot. We worry a lot about Mark Briscoe, how he's handling it, how his wife's handling everything, his family, all that, and his extended wrestling family too. Everyone that's ever worked with him. So, and I know maybe you guys out there to follow live and not able to share anything, and that's okay. Like, everyone mourns differently, but feel free to share here, whether you're watching this back later on or tweet at us at CCG_WrestleCast. We'll call some of them out. There's a lot of memories around this guy and his brother. And it is very, very weird to know that he's not there anymore,
Yeah.
And I hope Mark continues to use that reach for the sky boy intro.
Yeah.
Just so we can always hear that voice, So
Yeah.
every time.
There's another cool thing I saw on Twitter I wanted to kind of share with people.
Sure.
So I don't know who the person is. I just noticed the tweet was mentioned by someone, but apparently there's like an artist who makes enamel pins, and he had previously made pins of Roddy Piper and Greg Valentine connected with the dog collar. So it was like two pins and then connected with like a small little chain to look like the dog collar. And he had mentioned that honestly, since that double dog collar match, he was thinking about producing, trying to make some of those. And after this happened, he kind of tweeted out like, "Hey, AEW, Tony Khan, I'd love to make these and produce them, and we all the proceeds can go to his family." And then like several people, including Dax Harwood, like quote tweeted it or responded to her like, "Hey, make them. We'll buy them all. Give the money to her family, and then share them with people." Like this is, it was a really cool idea. So again, just kind of coming back to that idea of his friends and family, his wrestling friends and family, that are obviously in pain and mourning, but also coming together, for him and his family. I know Tommy, you had shared some stuff. They started to go
Yeah.
a GoFundMe, and so many people are contributing to that.
Yeah. Including the Young Bucks too. I think they each gave 10 grand each.
Yeah,
They gave 10 grand each because I prefaced it with I like, well, no matter what they do, I'll never hate the Young Bucks again.
Yeah.
It's like they super kicked the man. The baby had it coming. So it's like,
look, you can boo.
It was
Nick
a good
and
side by
Matt,
the kid, by the way.
Young Bucks. You can boo Nick and Matt, the Young Bucks, the characters. The same way we boo Stephanie McMahon and the Bellas and Baron Corbin. But as human beings, obviously, great thing from them.
Yeah, that's actually funny you said Baron Corbin because online he's actually a super nice guy to like all his fans.
Completely.
It's like wow, you're really good. You're such a jerk in the ring, but you're really nice to people.
Not to get too far off topic, but I feel so bad because they have him with JBL right now, and they have like some modern wrestling god, and it's just still not working. And I'm just like, I don't understand. Like you're right, he is the nicest man. He's actually a really good wrestler. Like his moves, his stuff.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
But his character either doesn't connect or you just hate him really bad, which I guess is kind of a good.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah.
But,
He gets people booing him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. There's really nothing more I can say about it. We lost a legend today. Gone way too soon.
That's I will say one more thing. If you ever want to see probably one of the reasons Ring of Honor got to where it is as far as worldwide attention, find Steen and Generico versus the Briscoes in Ladder War 1. That's if you can credit one match with the trajectory of what started to take off for ROH, that was probably it. Because to this day, that's still one of the ladder matches ever. I think they've gone beyond a couple times, but that one was game changing for ROH.
So are we signing up a WrestleCast official Watch ROH account, or?
I
mean, I'm down. I mean, that's all I want out of life.
Tommy doesn't have one yet. He doesn't have the inside track on already having one before it's
we'll charge it to Steady as a company account.
Business expense.
Okay, first of all, I have an ROH. I have my own honor club. It's called my DVD collection.
Yeah,
I've been building that damn thing up since 2005. Okay,
Tommy,
so
don't be surprised if Tony Khan calls you. Be like, hey, you have a copy of this show? I think we don't have the right video for it.
That would be amazing. he's like, who would possibly have this show? And like
Tell
Shane Taylor
me.
walks by, is like,
I know a
from
guy.
2003, and like Shane Taylor walks by, is like, I think I know a guy, and like random message, Shane's messaging me. You wouldn't happen to have Reborn Completion, would you? Hold on, I think I do actually. Yeah, what? How fast can you get to Orlando? As in Florida, dude, I work at HEB. I need help.
Tony, I'll send the jet.
So I was like, I will be there in an hour.
Oh
man.
Well, again, share your thoughts, share your memories, and to Jay Briscoe, prayers for your family and your friends, everyone in the rest of the community. I know we're all mourning. Pray that your daughters live a long and healthy life, and always never forget you. You know, I think I think with all the memories you gave them, they'll always remember who you are, and you know, it's just a career taken way too soon, and it's just one of those things in life that you never know it's your time. So just always be out there, live it to the fullest, the best of your ability, and you know, people will appreciate the things you do. So with that, we can move into our 1 minute warning segment here. I know I might have a little something for mine, but Mike, do you have anything this week?
You know, I honestly don't think I do again this week.
Okay. Tommy?
Yeah, I'm gonna pass for now.
Got a small one, yeah.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Whenever you're ready, set and go.
So for all we've been talking about, Jay, I want to give a shout out to Mark, because I know he gets, I won't say overshadowed or overlooked, but because we're just focusing on Jay because that's where the tragedy is. But shout out to for him, because that was his brother. They were super tight and they were both super cool, really nice guys. Shout out to Mark for always being another solid dude, solid talent for him, because if he has to step away from wrestling for a good while after this, I will completely not. So shouts out to him. Thanks to him and to Jay for the many years of great memories, and just hope he's doing okay. I know that's probably kind of impossible to say right now, but I hope he'll get better.
Time heals all wounds, right? Is that always the thing you always hear? So
yeah, it's a bit of a misnomer in its own way, but yeah, it has some ring of truth to it.
Waiting for the time to reset here. Hello.
Oh, okay.
I guess I'll just do it manually. All right. For me, the one I do want to call out here is this one that, WWE, you need to learn how to really surprise people again. You really do. Because I kind of said it from the beginning with the Royal Rumble. At least let Cody Rhodes return, be a surprise at the Rumble. Don't show him on TV. Don't mention his name. That way, when he shows up, you get that full effect. You get that huge thing. As the Royal Rumble comes around every year, we always see like random TikToks or videos of like, memories of this and that from this year. We were there when Ty Dillinger showed up at number 10 for crying out loud. Mm-hmm. Something we hope to see, but he was there, the perfect 10, Ty Dillinger. And while I personally hated it when it happened, but John Cena coming back from injury to enter the Royal Rumble number 30 and win it, surprises like that. Chris Jericho coming into the Rumble and surprising everybody with that, Why couldn't you just save Cody Rhodes?
You're also missing the biggest one that ever happened for a couple years ago.
Edge. Yeah.
That is hands down the best, and I will not accept any other answer.
My very close number
just
2.
Going for ones I was I'm thinking about. Yeah. So
my very close number 2 to this day is still AJ Styles. Edge is number 1 for sure, but AJ Styles is number 2.
AJ was cool, but I still get goosebumps when I see that clip. Even hearing Michael Cole with his dorky "oh my," but And then what really gets, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to like take over your.
No, it's fine. My minute was up anyway, right? So, yeah.
But like, it still puts tears in my eyes after his initial like jog back and forth when he comes out of the smoke and just takes it all in, and you can see it in his face. Like, it's man, like, I'm not gonna lie at all. It just tears every time. If it pops up on TikTok sometimes, I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
Well, I remember we were just as loud as the crowd when you heard "You Think You Know Me," and all of us just lost our collective shit. so yeah, you're right. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of get it, but it really would have been better if they never said anything and just let something Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Like, they never announce it. All of a sudden, the Dark Order shows up on stage for no reason.
Yo, if for like one day,
like, wait, what?
Just give him the full entrance. Give him the full entrance. I mean, I don't know how the entrance ramp is going to be at the Alamo when they do this, but yeah, have him like, I don't know if he's in there 30 and he'll come up through the ground or something.
I was
like
gonna
that.
say they have to bring out like a box just so we can come up higher.
Yeah, I would. But I would love it if the Dark Order were there and singing the wrong lyrics just to the instrumental and just to like cut them off and then have the actual song play. Adrenaline in my soul.
In all fairness,
something.
It's that's the official lyrics, and you'll never convince me. What I will say though is, even if it was a surprise, Kevin Dunn would have ruined the camera work for it. You probably would have missed him actually.
Don't even get me started on that damn spear and then AJ
spear. AJ, like,
yeah,
they had to go to Roman, like, huh?
Yeah.
This is
huh. Interesting. I mean, Jason. Who could be bigger?
No. Oh god. Okay. You know what? I'm sorry. Can I have my 1 minute now?
Sure, go for it. You know what? Let's do it. Go for it. Let me set this
up. I hate to kind of come on this. I hate to come on this, especially with what we've spent talking about, but I don't need legends back anymore. Okay? I know I'm older, and maybe for younger people, there's still an effect there. I don't need to see Hogan or Undertaker. I hate to say this, I don't even really need Shawn anymore. Like, the diminishing returns of these things, and I assume he's mentioning The Rock. Look, you thought you were going to take over this is almost the Kevin Owens promo. You thought you were going to be DC, and then you weren't DC. You were DC for a second, and then you're not. I know, as a casual fan and for people who kind of care about wrestling, The Rock coming back for Roman Reigns is going to be a huge thing. But even The Rock, I'm like, I don't need it. Do I think he's going to put on a match that I'm going to remember? Like no. Like, I'm tired. Like, Flair, there was a rumor for a while that he wanted another match. He's since come and said, no, he just wished he would have done better in his last one. But I don't need all this. I know it's what they've been building, but I honestly don't. I'd rather see The Rock and Cody or The Rock and Seth again, or use it to build up the next guy. I'm getting tired of the old guys. So yeah, I know, Jason, that's what you're getting at. So
let's can we hope that doesn't happen? Like, come on, does he doesn't have to be there.
But your reference to that Kevin promo, it's just one of my favorites of all time. No, you're not gonna come out here and talk about it should have been me. It should have been you. It should have been me. And then it was kind of. It's never gonna be it. Just get over.
And it's funny because it just kind of hit me as I was saying. I was like, oh, that's kind of The Rock with DC movies, actually.
Yeah.
But
that was in San Antonio too, wasn't it?
What's that?
That was in San Antonio too, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, it might have been. I don't remember
that.
I
think it was a SmackDown we took Audie to. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It was hilarious.
I laugh at that because it felt like a lot of the best promos have a lot of the actual wrestlers' thoughts in it. I feel like that's exactly how he felt with that whole thing, and I felt like that was just him unleashing how he felt. He's like, "No, I have a live microphone. I get to say this. I'm involved in this upsets, and I want to get it out now."
Kevin Owens is pretty good. I got it. Oh God, add him to the list.
Well,
God damn it.
Well, he will be in town Friday. He's doing his one-man show.
Have we ever clarified the Royal Rumble rule about if you don't enter the ring before the next person? Because at one point in the history, I thought if you did not enter before the previous person, you were basically eliminated. But then over the years, people have not gone in, if I'm not mistaken, and then we're still allowed.
Yeah,
into the match
that's
later
what
on.
I always thought too. But I guess now they're just like,
And the only reason I bring that up is because there's no way an Undertaker entrance will last shorter than the time before the next entrance is allowed to come in. So he's still like slowly
unless he
trudging down.
enters at 30. Yeah.
Well,
so,
okay. I
yeah.
was gonna say he's slowly trudging down the aisle, and here comes Austin Theory running around him because he can move. So
Look, we'll talk about Rumble more next week. But at the very least, I'll say this: if there's going to be a big major surprise, let it be on the women's side of things. Okay. We know, but
have we mentioned that they probably still don't have enough women to do a full Rumble?
The fact that Mickie James won the title has me wondering if she's going to show up again.
Is that the only way you can bring her back? Is when she's the Impact champion? I mean,
no, but if they made a deal. If they made a deal for her to be there, Impact's probably like, well, whoever we're sending over there, let's give them the title. I mean, hell, is there anybody from AEW you would love to see surprise and be in the Women's Royal Rumble?
In San Antonio? In San Antonio? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if she was healthy, 100% yes.
Yeah.
Because again, mariachis at the Dome? Yes, please.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? Who knows? I know Vince has his finger on things, but if Triple H is running things,
I'm sorry. What did you just say?
Huh?
Vince what?
Vince has control of the company, essentially.
Oh, you said fingers on thing like he knew what was up. And
no.
Like, let's use our words carefully here.
Okay. The fact that he has control.
Yes, okay. He's in control. Yeah. I'm sorry.
But Triple H is still running creative. Triple H is still doing that. It's not on the real possibility we start seeing some forbidden doors being broken here. I mean, it's a long shot, but this is the right event to do that. And
yeah, I think the cons are going to have to buy or merge with WWE first before.
Well, we'll see who's in the market for that. They got the money. So anyway. Twitter account at CCG_WrestleCast, and next week we'll dive a lot deeper into Impact Hard to Kill, and we'll preview WWE Royal Rumble, talk about making predictions for all of that. We'll pull all the Vegas betting odds and see what people are guessing for that one. Who should bet in Vegas for that one too is right, and who some potential surprises could be. We'll see what the wrestling news wire is that comes up with that too. So, and
also how much money we plan to lose that weekend, getting autographs, pictures, and other things from all the various meet and greets that will be going on.
Going to be a busy weekend, yes. So
I already have my mindset on the $75 I'm spending on Sting. If I can get just that, I'll play everything else by ear.
Get there early, get in line, dude, because I'm sure that's going to be the longest line of the whole
time. We might need to talk, Tommy, see if we can get there at the same time or something.
I'm in.
Yeah. So that's what we'll be discussing next week. And again, if you're watching us after the fact, please share some of your favorite Jay Briscoe memories, Briscoe Brothers memories. Again, our thoughts, prayers, positive thoughts to Jay Briscoe's family and to all the many wrestling brothers he had, to everybody at Ring of Honor, AEW. That his career is legendary, and there's never going to be another one like him. So, well, except maybe Mark, but it's
Mark could,
Mark Briscoe, take all the time you need, dude. I think people understand, but don't. I think it goes without saying, don't give up on this dream you have, because I know you came in together with your brother doing this, and I think he would love for you to continue doing this and make an impact. So,
just a small thought before we go. I almost wonder if Tony Khan would retire the titles in some way and create new, maybe slightly renamed tag team titles, and just kind of because they were literally the champions at the moment, and obviously they are synonymous with ROH tag team champions. I almost wonder if you would, or maybe call them, like the,
Like
I don't know, the
forever.
Jade
I
Tag
think it maybe some sort of like year-end award or something because I think Ring of Honor still does those. Maybe they have like the tag team with the Briscoe brothers tag team of the year or something.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think naming a championship after them might be. I don't know. I don't think it's something Jay would want. Like titles are meant
That's
to
what I
be
was
passed
thinking.
on. Titles are meant to be passed
Yeah.
on. And it's obviously something tragic like this happens, and I don't think there's so much history with that belt. It would suck to retire and just start a whole new legacy.
Yeah,
So.
I think that's why he would want them to go on because like so many other teams have won them. They've had so many match of the year, century, decade matches attached to those. I think he would want them to keep going. But I forgot to say this. I said I know the Warner Bros. Discovery would let him have a tribute show on air. But I got to give Tony Khan how the boss say, you know what? Fine, fuck you. I'll do it my damn self.
How much more do we respect Tony Khan for that?
Yeah, I just love how he put on his own Affinity Gauntlet and just said, fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
So thank you, Tony, for that too.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
And thank you again, everyone, for joining us on this week's episode. Kind of shorter than we expected, but that's life. When news breaks like that, you just something like that does happen, and you just got to be prepped for that. So, over here we got Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
We got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other and tell the people you love them.
Yes, and I'm JC.
Don't pass them a chance.
And as always, heels and baby faces, remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake.
We'll see you next week to talk Royal Rumble, everybody.
Boy.
Adios, Gunther.